I don't know why, but when I was younger, I loved it when people call me this one thing. Arrogant. Egotistical. Okay, that's two things, but you know what I mean, right? It might be because like when people do something, I just naturally want to go the other way. So if they say, oh, being egotistical is bad, I'm like, yep, I'm gonna be egotistical. And so during secondary school, my entire personality was like, yep, I'm going to get the best grade in this class. Even though I wasn't that good at school. Like previously in primary school, I didn't even do that well. And so I had confidence, but no evidence to back it up. And so that's one thing I'll start this video with. Confidence comes from evidence. So that's why I was seen as egotistical. I had no evidence, but then I did well for the first test, then the second test, then the third test, then the fourth test. Then in the big like final exam, we call it GCSEs, or in America it's called like SATs or something. I got a perfect score, which is 3 points. Like lower the better. So 3 points is the best that you can get. And so I find it so interesting because before that point, on all the tests and every day up till the final like results day, I was pretty loud about the fact that I'm gonna do better than everyone else. But then the moment I actually got the results, I didn't shove it in anyone else's face. I just looked at it, looked at the score. Okay, I did it. And I went home. That's it. So it showed me that arrogance and egotisticalism is loud, but true confidence is silent. It's quiet. So that's a quick summary of my confidence journey, but during the journey, I went through different stages. And so I put it all into this thing called the confidence bell curve. I don't think I actually got this from anyone else. I think I just made this up myself. So let me explain it to you so that you can understand confidence better. So this is the confidence bell curve, or maybe it's here. I don't know where my editor is going to put it. It's going to be somewhere on screen, right? You know how bell curves work? They start like flat, then they go up, then they go back down, right? So we start at the first flat part, which is called unconfidence. This is stage 1. And we are unconfident because, again, confidence comes from evidence. And so when you're born and you're just a young kid, you really don't have any evidence to show that you're good at anything because you're just a blank slate, right? In fact, we might have evidence pointing in the opposite direction. So imagine my goal is to be confident in my studies. Well, the evidence that I developed as a kid was I failed one test. I answered a question wrong in front of the whole class. That builds evidence, but not in the positive direction. That builds evidence that I'm not good at studies. That builds evidence in the opposite direction. So given time, I think that formed the belief in my brain that, oh, I'm just not good at school. I'm just not smart. I'm not intelligent. I'm not going to be successful. I don't even like saying those things because we know that, you know, if you say something, it does reaffirm that belief in your head. So I'm going to stop saying it, but that's stage 1. You have no evidence, and so you're not confident. And that makes sense. I like the quote because it makes something that is a feeling, you know, confidence is just a feeling, right? It's really hard to like track and measure a feeling or something that isn't physical. But when we link confidence to just how much evidence we have, it's so easy to track both. And so when you have zero evidence, well, if confidence equals evidence, 0 equals 0. Which is why I wasn't confident to begin with. But then I went from stage 1 to stage 2, which is where the confidence bell curve spikes up. And this is called arrogance or ego. So if stage 1 is no confidence, no evidence, stage 2 is lots of confidence, still no evidence. And that's why we see it as like delusional when someone thinks they're the best when they're not, because they have no evidence to back it up. We're just gonna naturally find it annoying. Like I'm picturing like a 16 or 17-year-old kid who just got on self-improvement maybe like a week ago, a month ago, and he thinks he's better than all of his Jeffrey friends because he watched like 5 Hamza videos and he takes cold showers every morning, and he has like 200 subscribers on his YouTube channel, and he thinks he's gonna, you know, he has entrepreneur in his bio, and then on every single social media he has something like I'm gonna change the world written there. He has a lot of confidence, but he doesn't have evidence to like back it up. And so a lot of people would say, yeah, this is bad, skip this part, don't be in this part. But for me, it was necessary because that 17-year-old that I was just talking about, I was picturing myself about a year ago or 2 years ago. Because although, yeah, maybe the belief in himself is a bit too much and a bit misplaced, it pushes him to do more. It pushes him to start doing the actions, even though he's not good at it. And because he starts doing it, he starts building evidence and more evidence. And the 200 subscribers becomes 1,000. And the 1,000 becomes 10,000. And 10,000 becomes 50,000. And 50,000 becomes 100,000. And 100,000 becomes 200,000. And so ego is like dirty fuel. You can use it to get started. You'll get your plane off the runway, builds momentum. But if you use it in the long term, it will damage the engine. And so, yeah, use the belief to get yourself off the runway. But at some point, once you have enough evidence, move on to the last part, which is confidence. That's at the end of the bell curve where it goes back down. And there's stage 3, which is confidence. This is where you have the confidence because you have the evidence. So in stage 2, you had that ego that pushed you to do the actions even though you weren't very good at it, and you believe you were even though you're not. But then once you've done it enough and you're actually good at it, you have the evidence, so now you're just confident. For example, this thought always popped into my brain as one of my favorite images to imagine. Imagine if Elon Musk lost all his companies today. For some reason, we know that within a year or 2 years, imagine he lost all his connections as well, right? Within 1 or 2 years, from scratch, he will build another business and become a millionaire again. Why? Because he's done it before. He's built I don't even know how many companies. He's built multiple companies before and got all of them to millions. So the likelihood that he can do it again is pretty much guaranteed. He doesn't need to believe in himself and say, yes, I can do it, I'm confident. He just knows that he can do it because of the evidence that he's done it before. That's the stage that I want you to get to. That's the final stage, which is where you're confident because of the evidence that you've built, because of the actions that came before you. And so if you take nothing else from this video, let it be this one line. We don't build confidence by screaming affirmations in the mirror. We build confidence by having a stack of undeniable proof that we are who we say we are. One of my favorite quotes by Alex Hormozi. I think for me right now in my own journey, I think I'm between stage 2 and stage 3. So I'm coming down from the bell curve. I'm not really sure where, but it's somewhere on that coming down part. You might be on the coming up part. So maybe you need to increase your ego so that you can do the actions more. And so one thing I want to emphasize about the ego stage is that the belief doesn't guarantee anything. If you start believing, okay, I can become a top student, that doesn't make you a top student. It just means okay, maybe now you have a 1% chance. But if you don't have the belief, that chance is guaranteed to be 0. So that's what the belief gives you. The belief just gives you a fighting chance. Because if you don't believe that you can do it, then you're not going to do it. When you start believing, or maybe believing too much, now we can start talking. It's kind of like this quote that I saw from Chris Williamson, which is, consistency does not guarantee success, but without consistency, you guarantee that you fail. So consistency doesn't actually guarantee anything, it just increases the odds. So the same thing is true with belief. If you just believe in yourself, that doesn't guarantee anything. There's lots of delusional people that just believe in themselves for no reason. But if you don't believe in yourself, then that guarantees that you fail. And so, I know I'm in a different shirt now because I'm recording this part later on after I recorded the first part of this video. I just want to add this one bit because this whole idea of being egotistical or being arrogant by society standards was brought into my awareness by this one video by this one YouTuber that has since been cancelled. The video's been deleted, but you can find re-uploads of the video on YouTube. It's titled Why I Need My Ego. It's by Sneeko. That rhymed, so bars. The way that he spoke, the way that he conveyed his beliefs really resonated with me because it made me realize that it's not that I believe in myself too much, it's just that people around me believe in themselves too little. It gave me the permission to believe in myself more than what society deems to be correct. Because if normal people believe in themselves here, and look at successful people, do you think they'll believe in themselves more or less? Probably more, right? Because they have more evidence. So successful people believe in themselves here. If I'm always around normal people and I try to go up higher than that, they're going to pull me down and be like, no, you're supposed to be down here. You're supposed to be down here because that's what we all are at. And so when you go on this journey, trying to increase your confidence, trying to increase your belief in yourself, people will start pulling you down. And so that video gave me the permission to be like, no, I don't care about these people anymore. I want to be like these people up here. So I'm going to continue believing myself like I'm up here. So I hope this video can be that for you. I hope that I can be that person for you to give you permission because it's just a belief. And so when that video broke the belief, I was like, oh, I can actually increase this. I didn't know that was even possible. I thought I would be doing something wrong. So I hope I've broken that belief for you so that you can believe in yourself more, not just for the sake of believing yourself, but by believing yourself to take more action. And once you take more action, you build evidence. And once you build enough evidence, you don't even need the belief anymore, because you have a mountain of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Take action. Yeah, man, I recorded the first part of this video a few days ago, then I wanted to add this part at the end, so that's why I'm wearing a different shirt. I'm gonna record a video after this as well. So yeah, if you like my advice and you want more, go click the first link in the description. That's Ruff Club, my private community. I do coaching calls in there. We have a productivity course that's 7 hours long. I work really hard on them. A YouTube course that's been getting really good reviews. I'm super active in there, so if you're interested, go click the first link in the description just to check it out. If not, that's completely fine because all the YouTube videos will still be here for free every single week for your value. Give me a kiss. Mwah.